Students' First Act of 2011 by HeatherPerry. What is the Students' First Act of 2011? The Students' First Act of 2011 replaced the former Teacher Tenure Act and Fair Dismissal Act. The Act became effective on July 1, 2011. It created employment protections and procedures for school employees that are covered under the Act. Who is covered under the Act? All teachers who are employed by city and county school boards of education who hold an Alabama Educator Certificate. It imposed a new tenure system for teachers and education support professionals in Alabama, including those who work in the post-secondary institutions such as school bus drivers, school cafeteria workers, school custodians, school secretaries, and school maintenance workers. Who is not covered under the Act? School superintendents, chief executive officers, chief school financial officers, presidents and vice presidents of two-year colleges, and any part-time or temporary school employee are not covered under the Act. What is protected under the Act? Under the Students' First Act of 2011, school employees are not guaranteed a job for life, but they are protected by rights and due process rights that ensure before an employee is let go, the school board must follow the procedures and guidelines under the Act before an employee covered by the Act can be terminated, suspended without pay, transferred, or disciplined. A tenured teacher or classified employee cannot be fired without a written notice of the reasons and an opportunity to contest against the action. Non-renewals under the Act. A non-tenured teacher must receive notice of non-renewal on or before the last working day of the school year during their third year. Otherwise, notice must be received by June 15th or June 30th during the first year of the legislative term. However, a post-secondary teacher must receive notice of non-renewal on or before 15 days prior to the end of their sixth semester. Terminations under the Act. Tenured teachers and classified employees can be terminated for a decrease in number of positions, insubordination, neglect of duty, immorality, failure to perform in a satisfactory manner, or any other good or just cause reason. Termination cannot take place due to personal and political reasons. Reassignments and transfers. A tenured teacher in grades K through 12 or post-secondary can be transferred once per school year to any grade or position outside of the school, campus, or instructional facility to which the teacher has been assigned to. The teacher must be certified for the new position, and the transfer must happen within the first 20 days after students report for class. If a tenured teacher in grades K through 12 is to be transferred to a school outside their feeder pattern, then the teacher has the right to a full hearing before the board. If a teacher is to be transferred after 20 days from the first day of school due to an act of God, then the teacher has the right to a full hearing before the board as well. Terminations, certificate actions. When a teacher is terminated, they can have their certificate revoked. If the teacher is found guilty of immoral conduct or unbecoming or indecent behavior, the state superintendent of education has the authority to revoke the teacher's certificate under Code of Alabama, Section 1623(5). Suspensions. A suspension of 21 or more working days is treated the same as a termination. If the suspension is less than 20 working days, the employee must be provided adequate notice of the reason or reasons for the proposed suspension and an opportunity to present evidence and argument, either in person or in writing, to the president or the board prior to a decision being made. Partial cancellations and reduction in force. Partial cancellations and reduction in force are when an unavoidable reduction in the workforce beyond normal attrition due to decreased student enrollment or shortage of revenues occurs. Employees who receive a partial cancellation or reduction in force are exempt from terminations, demotions, or transfers.